The Golden Bachelorette is moving on to week 4, and this week looks to be all about a frontrunner's sudden and shocking exit. Or does he? 'Cause while the footage does seem quite damning, the sleuthing never lies, and there's something fishy going on. So let's take a look at this thing, and as per usual, please, no posting any outright spoilers in the comment section below unless you can back it up with sleuthing, and a link to the full preview is hopefully in the description. They haven't uploaded this at the time I'm making this video, so yeah. Anyway.
America's not ready to see a bunch of 60-year-olds with their shirts off.
Hey, don't tell me what I want to see and what I don't want to see.
Today is going to be a revealing day. Did you say you've never done this before? Sir!
So something was in the air earlier this year, and production got really into organizing strip dates, as this is the second season in a row where we'll be seeing Bachelorette guys bust a move and lose their shirts. We'll also see former Bachelorette Caitlin Bristow hosting, which seems to be another Bachelor tradition at this point. But all we really need to focus on here, apart from these dancing zaddies, is that this is what the group date is going to be for next week, not anything else. And I only say this cause it will help us with the biggest part of our sleuthing for this preview in regard to the shocking exit that's teased later on. So let's keep going.
Because you know how to move your hips. I do believe that there could be a future with us.
I didn't know I could actually feel this good again.
Okay, so here we also see the two one-on-ones for next week. First with Jordan on this Winter Wonderland date, and then here with my guy, and this guy is the guy. Dude's helping others. He was the only one super into singing Kim's song with him. You just gotta stan the man, and the man is Guy. He'll be enjoying some kind of date in Joan's private accommodations or something. We saw this shot in the season preview, and it's also in this preview, and if we go back to episode 1, this is the place Joan enters at one point when she arrives on the show. So having a private sit down at Joan's place or something of that nature is what's going on here, which is a date we've seen them do a few times in seasons past. The behind the scenes, we didn't really have an idea or a budget for another kind of date, so come hang out at my place sort of thing. But let's move on.
I am starting to fall for Joan.
She's got my eye. Both of them.
Can I just whisk you away?
I feel safe again. I feel comfortable again. Like there's hope. I imagine a future with more than one of the guys here.
Okay, so here we're seeing some special moments with Mark, and then Chalk, and then Jonathan. The only concerning thing, however, is that the shots with Jonathan and Mark are definitely from the cocktail party before the rose ceremony next episode, but this shot with Chalk, this could actually be from the night portion of the group date, which means we can't say that Chalk is going to make it through the full episode after what's teased in this next section.
This is a fear of mine. I don't know if I can do this. I just want you to know I'm gonna leave. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know.
I feel less confident now.
So this is the big moment of the preview and likely next episode. Something happens with Chalk where he says this is a fear of his, he doesn't know if he can do this, and he decides to leave. And we're getting a very unusual exception to what we normally see on the show or in these previews. Because this casual shirt, sunny daytime shot with a bench going into a van is so visually similar to something like the morning after a fantasy suite, or maybe a final two moment after the Meet the Family dates. But I guess a fantasy suite morning after shot was never going to be in the picture anyway, considering Joan has said she's doing fantasy suites different this time. Nothing physical, there's not even going to be a bed there.
I didn't want to have a physical relationship with more than one person, so I kind of took that off the table.
Didn't share the same bed. You got the two queens,
No.
the room with the two queens?
No bed. No bed at all.
Alright, Joan, but we've been promised that before, and it ended up being a disaster. But is Chalk really gone? The man has been so focused on each episode. He's constantly getting screen time, he's had a one-on-one. Is this great edit he's been getting just here to make it all the more shocking when he leaves next episode? Well, we do have just a small bit of preview left, so let's quickly finish this thing off and then talk eliminations for next episode, including if this Chalk business is actually for real.
Like, could I leave here alone? Like, I'm doing.
So there you have it, Chalk's exit shakes things up, and Joan is wondering if she might leave here alone. But no, we have one slice of the season preview that unravels this whole thing.
I don't want someone to get over it. I want someone to stay young.
Did you spot it? If we slow this thing down, we can, yup, right there is Chalk on this group date still to come. And we know next episode the group date isn't bowling, it's this shake what your papa gave you date with Jordan and Guy getting the other one-on-ones. This date right here is actually something I've stated could likely be from the episode right before Hometowns, with 5 men on this date and likely 2 or possibly 3 others getting one-on-ones for whenever this episode happens. It also appears that, apart from taking jets to Vegas, the majority of this season is remaining in the Bachelor Mansion, at least until we get to Hometowns and then Fantasy Suites. So this being what looks to be a casual Lucky Strike bowling date in the area doesn't mean it can't be from something right before Hometowns. So what does this mean? Well, it means that this moment with Chalk is an absolute fake out, and he's not going anywhere. Or if he is going somewhere, he comes back. And no, I don't mean he decides to leave and then changes his mind and begs to come back. I'm thinking something more like, you know how last episode Chalk spoke to how he understands Joan's concerns about her mom because his mom is ill as well? Well, perhaps he gets news about his mom and has to leave, but is also able to come back. Or maybe it's a different family-related situation where he has to go temporarily. All I know for sure is that Chalk isn't gone. As for the context, we'll have to find out about it next week, but he'll be sticking around, and he's got too strong of an edit to think he won't be getting a hometown too. The only thing that's now in question is whether or not he's still the final pick, because Guy is making a case for himself, and with the one-on-one next week, he could be a rising star. Not to mention this final location date is for sure with Guy, so we can lock him in for a fantasy suite at worst. Now as for who else is getting eliminated, I think it's time for our King Charles. I know, but I'm at peace with it. He's made it a good distance, but just looking at the numbers here, I don't know. We've got 11 guys on the show now. In this shot, we see 5, meaning 2 others could be on one-on-ones, which is 7 guys total, so 4 more could be going, maybe 3. Of course, Charles could be on a one-on-one, and that's why he's not here. I would love that. I would love a surprise shot of him in his socks and sandals in the final filming location too. But my expectations for how far Charles was going this season kind of aligned with Hakeem's from Jen's season. Yeah, the longer the better, but without the preview footage to back it up, I know it's going to be ending sometime, and sometime relatively soon. Now Keith, we know, has a one-on-one to come, so that could be one of the ones from this bowling episode, which leaves 1 spot open, maybe 2. A spot that could go to Mark, who doesn't really have any one-on-one footage that we've seen, but he's certainly getting screen time, and that brings us to 7 guys right there. Chalk, Pascal, Jonathan, Guy, and Jordan right here, then Keith and maybe Mark getting one-on-ones, leaving Gary, Gil, Dan, and Charles as the odd ones out. So that's it for this preview breakdown for week 4 of the Golden Bachelorette. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts and theories down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
This is a fear of mine. I don't know if I can do this. I just want you to know I'm going to leave. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know.